ICD-10, is it here yet? And are we ready? First, I want to talk about the code structure of ICD-10 versus ICD-9. The ICD-10 format has a category, it has an atomical site and severity, as well as an extension, and the ICD-9 format has a category, atomical site, severity, with no extension. The ICD-9 codes are 3 to 5 digits, while ICD-10 codes are 3 to 7 digits. These character extensions with ICD-10 can be a visit encounter, it could be an injury or an external cause, something of that sort that could be added onto the ICD-10 code. Overall, the ICD-10 codes are just much more specific than the ICD-9 codes are. Okay, ICD-10, the new and improved coding system. So the deadline for ICD-10 implementation process as of now is October 1st, 2015. This has been delayed for quite some time, so hopefully we'll get in there and definitely have it in this fall. There are lots of challenges that we face with the new ICD-10 system. There are approximately 68,000 ICD-10 codes compared to 14,000 ICD-9 codes. That's nearly a 5-fold increase in the number of codes that requires more specific documentation than what doctors provide now in their records. So it's going to be challenging for the healthcare professionals to meet those expectations and be very specific with their documentations so that everything is coded properly. Physicians employed by hospitals and healthcare systems normally don't code for themselves, but many practitioners do that for them, independent coding practitioners. Those who code must learn the details of ICD-10 coding that apply to their own specialties. So these coders need to be very familiar with the physician specialty and really know the codes in that specific area. And the physician needs to be familiar with those codes as well. Some physicians hope that their updated EHRs will prompt them through the ICD-10 documentation process. Some EHRs do, not all of them do at this time, but it is very good to have an EHR that is compatible with the ICD-10 format and codes. Is ICD-10 worth the trouble? Many people ask that all the time, so let's talk about that. Quality measurement. ICD-10 offers a greater detail and increased ability to accommodate new technologies and procedures. The codes have the potential to provide better data for evaluating and improving the quality of patient care. So patient care is top priority in any healthcare professional's job. That's the most important thing. So you want to make sure they get the best care possible. And having new and improved and better codes and more specific codes should make patient safety, patient care, everything for the patient better. With public health, the U.S. is the only nation not using ICD-10 as of now, so that makes it very difficult to exchange information amongst other countries. So once we have ICD-10, it's much easier to, communicate and establish good grounds with other countries regarding coding. So that will be very important as well. With research, ICD-10 is in fact a cleaner logic of codes that may lead to fewer coding errors, and in turn this will improve research. So it will have a good positive impact on research as well. Training. We have to have training to be able to code properly, right? So the first place I want to talk about for ICD training would be AHIMA. AHIMA is a professional organization that offers excellent ICD-10 training. You can do it in person or online, whichever one you prefer. Physicians need to have probably specific coding training for the area of their specialty. For example, a gastroenterologist or an endocrinologist is going to have different codes that they use more frequently according to their area of specialty. So the physician wants to make sure and get some really good education on their area of specialty for coding. Consulting firms is also a great training place as well. Many consulting firms offer free ICD-10 training, and some you have to pay for. So just depending on if you're affiliated with a firm or not. This is also really good for anybody that holds a professional credential. A lot of the training that you get for ICD-10 can also be used towards your CEUs, which helps you maintain your credential, and it's also good for your resume. So how to prepare for ICD-10? What do we need to do? First of all, you want to begin analyzing the financial health of your practice and determine what you need to do to survive financially in case you encounter any major problems as far as reimbursements after October 2015. So just take a financial snapshot of your facility and kind of know what needs to be done to make sure that your reimbursements for your facility is going to be top priority and ready to go in the fall. You also need to analyze your practice's coding patterns to determine which codes you use most frequently and which ones make the largest portion of your revenue. So you need to gather data about your coding within your facility, kind of know what codes you need to focus on and what ones help build your business and help get that cash back to your facility. Providers should begin documenting patient encounters as if ICD-10 is already in place. You should also start testing ICD-10 claims to ensure that your coding and documentation are working properly for ICD-10. So begin testing now and making sure that your documentation falls into the guidelines that it needs to properly code with ICD-10. And last but not least, you want to check with any vendors regarding your EHR to see if it's ICD-10 compatible. If it is, it's going to make it so much easier for all those involved and all those working with the coding, because it will help with documentation. It'll help do any kind of prompts needed for the ICD-10 codes and things like that. So just make sure your EHR is ICD-10 ready as well. So here's my references that I used for my presentation. AHIMA and Medical Economics, two journal articles and websites that I used. So you're welcome to look at those and get more information from them as well. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you learned a lot regarding the ICD-10, how it's going to help with improving our healthcare system, the challenges that we face, and how to get prepared for it. Thank you.